Unidimensional talent. Unidimensional talent describes a skill that's focused towards setting targets, working towards achieving one goal. The talent part of this means, for example, being able to jump higher than anybody else in a high jump. Another example of this is having speed to 100 dash. These performers I'm talking about are Usain Bolt of Jamaica and Ivan Yukov of Russia. Multi-sport talent, an athlete who competes in more than one sport, for example in the heptathlon, and another example of this is winning the decathlon. And the performers I'm talking about are Jessica Ennis of Great Britain and Ashton Eaton of America.
Sports performers traditionally are proficient in only one sport. This means athletes are likely to excel in only one sport. This is due to largely, but not exclusively, to early specialisation in one sport. Example of this is Usain Bolt being a sprinter and Lewis Hamilton being an F1 driver. This means that early specialisation means young athletes stick to one sport, and this is usually influenced largely by competition structures and associated by financial rewards.
Multidimensional talent. It is a skill focused towards several goals or talents. A football will be a good example of this, as they do not only need to run, pass and shoot to make decisions. They need to be able to communicate with teammates as well. Another sporting example of this would be a rugby player, as they need to be able to have more than one component of talent to make them a good rugby player, such as running, kicking, communicating with teammates and making the right decisions. Predictors, physical. Someone's physical shape can allow you to identify what sport they should be good at. If they've got big arms and are tall and powerful, then they are more likely to be a good basketball player. Whereas if you're short and flexible, you're more likely to be a good diver or gymnast. Being able to see physical predictors can help influence talent ID, because if you can analyse someone's physical appearance, you can see if they're going to be good at a certain sport. Psychological is also another predictor in sport. You need to be able to have a good, strong personality when in sport. You need to be able to communicate with teammates and have a high level of concentration. These are important skills that scouts will look for. If you're not confident, committed to the sport, and are not able to make decisions and also game intelligence, you will not excel in sport. If you're not confident at playing a sport, you will not excel in it.
Technical. This defines physical literacy as the mastery of fundamental movement skills plus fundamental sport skills. Physical literacy combines the following ABCs: agility, balance and coordination of sports performance. This is useful in sprinting. The KGBs is kinesthetic sense, gliding, buoyancy and striking with an implement. Fundamental of athletes is running, throwing and jumping. That is useful in basketball. CPK is catching, passing, kicking and striking with a body part, is useful in football. Technical skills are applicable to the sport played at an early age. It is important to not base our predictions pure on these skills, as they may not have been developed yet.
Physiological predictors. Muscle girth is the amount of muscle mass in your body. This can help with talent development in sports such as weightlifting. This will help them excel in this sport which requires a lot of power. However, this will be not very useful in sports such as basketball because there is no physical attributes in it. It is a non-contact sport. Aerobic endurance. This means that you're good at long distances. This can help development such as sports at the 5,000 metres and the 10,000 metres. This sport requires a lot of aerobic endurance to be able to keep up with the intensity of the running. Anaerobic endurance. This means you're good at a short distance with an explosive movements. So this helps in development in sports such as basketball. So this requires good explosive movements to get the edge of the opponent and achieve victory. This type of endurance would not be good for sports such as long distance running because it takes time to win and it is not explosive movement or movements. Power. This is speed and strength combined, so this is good for sports such as boxing, because you need strength to knock out your opponent, and you need the speed to outmaneuver your opponent. This will not be done in sport such as diving, because diving requires speed and technique, no strength. Strength. This means the ability to exert a lot of force. This is good in the development of a sport such as weightlifting, because you need to exert a lot of force to lift the weight in a powerful, quick exerting force. Speed. This is a quick movement between a point A and point B. This would be good in development of sports such as a 100-meter sprint, because you need to get from the start to the finish in the quickest time. So speed is key. So this would not be useful in sports such as boxing, because you need strength in boxing to get an edge over the opponent. Sociological predictor. There's 6 predictors in sociology which can predict development in sport. The first one is athlete's background. This means that athletes can be born into sport. So, for example, if you are a child of a professional sports player such as A.B. Beckham, you will be able to get into sport more easily because he is very famous. Geography. So if you are born in a less economically developed country, you are less able to get into sports because you don't have the supplies or the equipment. However, if you are in an MEDC, you are an MEDC, and this means you are an edge over the other people because you are able to afford the equipment and the facilities and education. If you are very well educated, it's much easier to be able to get developed in sport because you are good at the sports you like. Gender. If you are a male, it's much easier to be able to get in sport because there are much more sports for males and females. Parental involvement. In some religions, parents believe that maths, English and science is key. So they think that sport is pointless, but however, parental involvement can be related to athletes' background. Because if your parents are famous, it is easy to get involved in sport. Peer pressure. If you are in a sport and your friends are trying to get you to come to a party and you don't want to, this could make your performance dip in your sport.